This week, I went back on VRchat, and I asked a bunch of people the same question. What's a dream that one of you stopped chasing? What's a dream that you gave up on?
Being married.
Everyone on your screen right now agreed to share their stories, so if you see them around, please say hi, but respect their privacy. I try to make vids like these every Sunday by 9 p.m. Eastern, so if you like what you see, then consider sharing. Really. You don't think I don't see you?
August 14th, 2026. August 14th, 2026. August 14th, 2026. August 14th.
Can I ask you a question? What's a dream that you stopped chasing?
I love this question.
A dream?
And I picked
I wanted to go into streaming at one point, but then decided to take a break from that because I was on Twitch for a while, and I streamed a couple of years, mostly Friday the 13th, the game, and a few Dead Rising games. But it never really caught on. So I took a break from the actual streaming, but I still play a lot of games.
You want to know?
Yes, I want to know. Very badly, I'd love to know.
Oh, okay. It's more of a longing dream. Like I dreamed of having some type of love, a parental love from a father. Yeah. But it's not like a love like a fatherless love. It's more of I wondered because I didn't know my dad, so I didn't know like that losing that feeling of love.
Yeah.
It's more of an envy like love. Like I see the little girls have their daddy days with their dads and that type of love, you know.
I just accepted like I have to like.
Can you hear me?
I have to like do a bunch of work, and I can't do what I want to do because the world is not built like that. And I had a dream that like I would be able to do it, like I become like famous for art or whatever, like art being a bunch of mediums like games specifically and storytelling. But I just gave all it because I won't have enough time to do a lot of that. So I should just be more realistic and just work on small projects and dedicate my time to like living.
I was wondering if that worked.
The only thing I can think of is like either past relationship or like my father in general. I don't know. I guess it was more of like a hope that like I would eventually be able to look at him with respect in some way. But as time goes on and I see how immature he is, the more I come to the conclusion that the man is beyond help. Yeah. I've given up on stopping his self-destructiveness, I guess. I've tried so hard to make him not a horrible person. Or not make him, but like try to see how he's being bad and he's influence. But like, he can't realize he's so good at manipulating people that he manipulates himself into thinking that he's always right. Whether it be convincing his son to kill himself or just treating people horribly. It is like he's not a person that I deem like he's run out of chances to improve in my mind. I'm in been telling you where you've been going wrong for what, like 7, 8 years. My older brother's been telling you what you've been doing wrong for 12, 14 years, and you still can't figure it out. You still can't see that you're intentionally hurting people around you to make yourself feel better. Like, you gotta give up at some point. Because at some point, it becomes self-destructive to try and help someone. And I'm no longer gonna sacrifice my mental health and well-being to try and make him see that he's hurting people. He convinced himself 15 years ago that the world was gonna end, and he had this last-ditch thing that he was like, I'm gonna start a business. And now my brothers are paying the repercussions of his action. Because he cannot take accountability for stuff, and I've had to run his business for him. And I mean, last year I was working 100-hour work weeks, month after month, just to keep his business afloat. And I felt guilty when I did a bad job because he would tell me that it was my fault that things were going to even though it's not my responsibility to run his business for him and to take accountability for the failings of other employees. That's not on me. That's not my problem. And this year I finally was like able to stand up for myself and be like, I want less hours. I don't want to do as much. I'm not being compensated enough for how much time and effort I put into what you started. Because I get paid less than minimum wage. I get 2 hours I have to get to work to 2 hours early, start prepping and stuff. I have to stay after an hour and a half to clean, and I don't get paid for that time. I only get paid for the time that I'm actually, like, the business is open, and half the time that I'm there is not actual business hours, so I'm only getting compensated for half the time I'm there, and you want to pay me $7 an hour. When a bag of chips is worth an hour of my life, you know, it just makes me feel like I'm going down a downward spiral of wasting away my life for helping you feel that you're less stressed, like you have less to do. Hire more employees.
So why'd you decide to stop streaming? Oh.
Didn't like the direction it was going. I was getting more and more people following, but I felt like it was just becoming less and less worthwhile doing it.
So...
because I was very caught up on like the numbers and just trying to get people to stay no matter what, to watch the stream, and I realized that it was becoming more like just a job that I wasn't enjoying.
Is that a dream that you like gave up on? Or like...
Yeah, I gave up on trying to find that fatherly love because it won't happen to me. I had it for a little bit with my grandfather, but like I know that I will never have like a father-daughter dance moment.
What about like with a partner or something?
No, I hope not. I hope I don't get like fatherly love from my partner. Yeah. I hope I get you know what I mean? Like the comfort of like knowing that like I have a man or partner because I'm pan, so I like everything. Yeah, I get, but like I said, I had my grandfather who showed me like the kind of daughter love that a father shows you, but then he passed away, so it's like yeah, I've stopped looking for that love. And I used to look for it in all the wrong places, but now that I know what a difference between certain loves are, I found out that you don't really need that love to, you know, continue on.
Yeah.
I'm this happy 13-year-old me. is 20 years old now. She figured that out.
That's good. And I struggle with a similar problem with
That's
that.
cool.
I actually really relate to that. That's something I had to do recently.
Oh yeah.
Having to realize that everyone else doesn't really care about your art as much as you do.
Yeah.
And there are some things you're just talented at that people are like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And you're like, no, it's not. It's like a second language to me. But
Yeah.
I relate to that.
You gotta
very strongly.
find your own happiness in your art, because that's the only person who will really appreciate it, or what you're making it for. You should be making it for yourself. And also, if you do make it for yourself, you have the potential to find a very rich audience, because if you make it for yourself, the people who are like you may attract.
Yeah.
So you should always be making it for yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, I realized that when you make things for yourself, people really admire that. And they admire it less when you're trying to do it so much for them. And when you just do whatever you want,
Yeah.
like within like the bounds of reason and morality and stuff, whenever you do that stuff,
For sure, yeah.
people look up to it.
Mhm.
And they're like,
Yeah.
that's admirable, that's cool, you're a role model. And people look up to you. And you can either be like, wow,
For
that's
sure.
weird, stop looking at me like that. Or you can be like, okay, well, I might as well do something good with it.
Your daddy to put in a retirement home.
Mm.
Did you have a decent following?
Can actually, off the top of my head, when I stopped and took a break, I had like around 350 followers.
Okay. I don't know.
And like on a good day streaming, I would have 4 or 5 viewers.
Okay.
And only like a couple of what I would call loyal viewers.
Right.
Got a lot of bots too, like
Yeah.
avatars that would just join the chat and just post some random spam link and leave. Had some of that happen.
I guess the better question now is like, do you think you made the right choice? Do you think it's for the greater good? And like, why?
Yeah, I would have been stuck. Always searching for some type of love that I thought would have been like a father love from men. I would have always been stuck in that loop, because I used to do it. I used to think a man giving me any type of attention was like healing that part, but you can't heal something you've never really had. You know, like I said, I've never had a father, so I don't know what I'm missing, but I know what I envied, if that makes sense.
I see.
And I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you, even though you're a complete and random stranger who asked me this question. You didn't need all of this, but I won't lie to you. There are those times now that I'm like, oh man, it would have been cool if I was able to do this with my dad. Oh man, you know what I mean? Seeing the girls on TikTok have their dad take them to fucking Walmart for no reason, and he buys some snacks, you know? Like, oh, that would have been cool. I don't feel any pain for it because I never had it. Now, it would have been different if I had a father and it got ripped away from me. Then that pain, but since I never had one, I can't feel lost. It's more, like I said, like we weren't here, but like I said, it's envy. But yeah, like I said, it does, like, I've never been that person to be like, if I had a dad, I would never been this way.
Yeah.
No. A father doesn't determine how you end up. A parent, it does help you determine how you end up.
Yeah, it certainly helps,
doesn't,
but
it helps, but at the end of the day, once you get out of that mindset, like, hey, if I had this, if my mother loved me, I wouldn't have turned to drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't have.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't have. It would have helped extremely, but your mother left you when you were 13. You're 45. What's stopping you now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
how young were you when he passed, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh no, my grandfather passed. My father, I never had one. I had a dad for 2 weeks out of the life. I was in this world for 2 weeks before my father left me.
That's pathetic.
As I said, I've never had one, but I will say I did
Nope,
have
I'm
the
gone.
fatherly grandfather love.
Yeah.
But I will say the only love that I kind of felt fatherly would be my grandfather. So I did have the not father but male figure coming up to your
Yeah.
school in elementary school, like, yeah, you know what I mean. I did have that. As I said, I envied just actually having a dad. You know what I mean? That's why I said, yeah.
Knowing that I'm building something from the ground up and kind of being like the CEO of the business.
Yeah.
I love people too. I like to play multiplayer games and like to just hang out and chat with people as well. I think when I was playing just single player games was when it was the hardest, because I was having fun, but it's just hard to get people involved and interacting in some types of games.
My grandfather?
Yeah.
Oh my
Gosh.
I love this question. Oh, he was a great man. So my grandfather, it's the reason why I love Law and Order, SV. I love all the crime shit. Give me crime shows and I'm gonna sit down and watch them. But every morning, when I was in elementary school, I shouldn't have not been watching this shit. But he would wake me up. I would go to bed early, and he would wake me up around like 5 a.m. to get up, take a shower, let me back down on the couch, and I can go back to sleep if I wanted to. He would wake me up, give me breakfast, all that stuff. But every morning, the show Law and Order SVU would come on. Because we lived in Chicago at the time, so it would come on like early in the morning. And every morning, he would sit me down. Are you going back to sleep? Yes or no? It depends if I fell asleep or not. I would catch the episode. He'd sit me down. If I was still up, he's like, "Okay, you seem hungry." He'd get me at the table. This long, like my grandparents' house. This was like an old timey house. So we had like this long kitchen table in the dining room, and it was like creaky and old, little like think of, I don't know if you guys know like the placemats where they're like all old and like you peel it up, there's like a little when you peel it up on like that certain spot. Yeah. But every morning he would give me this little bowl, and in it would be Cheerios, milk, and bananas. And I'll sit at the table and I would watch Law and Order SVU. I miss that so much. That was like one of my fondest memories. Because you know what he would do? He'd sit down next to me and we would watch Law and Order SVU in the morning. And from that, I have just my love for anything crime related comes from him. Like, I love crime shows because of that, man.
Besides the eating Cheerios and watching Law and Order SVU, like, did he ever tell you something that like you remembered?
Yeah, actually, it's the entire family used to. He used to say, "Use your mind, don't you lose your mind." And I don't know if once you hear that, you're like, "Oh, what the fuck?" But then you get in a scenario and you're like, "Okay, I just need to use my mind," you know? Like you like everything's coming at you at once, and you just like, "What the fuck am I supposed to do if there's this, and that saying will pop into my head, and I'll be like, "Use your head. Don't lose it." You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just something he would say every so often throughout my life. And my mom, you just think of that like saying. We just think of it.
Yeah. It's helped me to think more clearly about it, and also give me the chance to watch successful streamers and see what they're doing, and to think about things I could do to be more like them.
As much as it's just like, as much as all that stuff does suck, if it didn't happen to me, I wouldn't be me, you know? I feel like all of my life experiences are so important to the person that I am now, and I like the person I am now, you know? I like how I think, I like just like the general vibe I have, I guess. In like the least self-obsessed way possible. It's just like I've come to terms with who I am, and if none of that happened, then I wouldn't have gotten to the point where I am. I feel like I'd be immature without it, you know? I would feel incomplete. I'm not saying that, like, people should have to go through something like that, because, you know, it wasn't fun, but, like, I'm glad it happened to me, just so that I could have it, you know?
You learned a lesson out of it, which I suppose is a great thing. So instead of doing those 100-hour work weeks now, you're like trying to put your art out into galleries, you said?
I'm trying to become a tattoo artist, actually, but, like, if I was able to make a living off my art, I think that would be so cool. It's been a thing that I realized that growing up, I didn't actually have very high aspirations for what I wanted to do. I was very lost, and I had no idea that art is what I enjoyed. You know, I drew a lot, I enjoyed drawing, but I didn't think it was like a career path for me. And, you know, I didn't even know what kind of career I'd go into. Everything seemed very, very unclear. Like, maybe I'll just figure it out when I get there. And then I stopped trying to figure out what I wanted to do and just went with life as it came to me. But, you know, as I got older, like, I got to my second year of high school, and I was like, that there was an opportunity to go to this art school that, like, 4 hours away from where I lived, which would be the turning point in my life, quite frankly. And I had taken every art class that I could have already, and I was just like, I want to try something new. So for my last year of high school, I went to this art school that was the most meaningful thing I have done, I believe.